I tweeted out over the weekend about CDC gets a list of forbidden words now that they're not supposed to use anymore. I'm going to share this with you, but today there was I think the woman used the Twitter machine, the head of the CDC, I think she's the head of the CDC, to say that such a list was never presented at all. Now, I will go with the original report in the Washington Post. I don't know who this administrator or whatever she is for CDC, but I do not believe any bureaucrat right now that has even the remotest connection to Trump, because every one of them is a liar and scum. So the way it came up, policy analysts at the Center for Disease Control and Prevention here in Atlanta were told of this list of forbidden words at a meeting last Thursday with senior CDC officials who oversee the budget. And according to an analyst who took part in the 90-minute briefing, the forbidden words that CDC is not supposed to use are vulnerable, entitlement, diversity, transgender, fetus, evidence-based, and science-based. Now, in certain instances of banning these words, some of the analysts were given, according to the Washington Post, were given alternative phrases. This is fucking unbelievable, but it's happening right in front of us. Instead of science-based or evidence-based, the phrase that is to be used now is, for example, here's an example. Right. Quote, CDC bases its recommendations on science in consideration with community standards and wishes. What the fuck does that mean? We base it on science in consideration with community standards and wishes. So if there's some report that goes out and all the Christian fascists get a huge burr up their ass and start screaming about, ooh, that word's not in the Bible, ooh. CDC is supposed to retract it and come up with something that won't offend these little cockroaches who are destroying the Christian religion. But in place of science-based or evidence-based, which Christians fucking hate, right-wingers hate it too. I can't think of a Jew who hates the term science-based. I don't know about Muslims. I know from Christians and Jews, and that's about it. But I can tell you that Christians hate science-based. In other cases, other words and phrases, no replacement words were immediately offered. I'm sure they will sit down with some good Christian people and come up with the proper words to use instead of fetus, like preborn child. I'm sure that's what they'll come up with next. Department of Health and Human Services, which oversees the CDC, according to Matt Lloyd, who's a spokesman for the Health and Human Services, he told the Washington Post, he said, quote, CDC will continue to use the best scientific evidence available to improve the health of all Americans. HHS also strongly encourages the use of outcome and evidence data in program evaluations and budget decisions. Outcome and evidence data. Evidence provided by science-based, oops, oh, fuck, did I say, did I say that? Okay, I didn't mean to say science-based. What I meant to say was, in consideration of the community standards and wishes. 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 Wishes will now apply to what used to be science and evidence at the CDC. We are fucked. Do you understand me? Do you get it, gentle listener? This madman and his crew, or as he puts it, his people. Sounds like a fucking mafia don, doesn't it? My people, hey, my people found this out. What is this? Come here, come here. Bang! Oh, I'm sorry, are you dead? My people told me you would, you know. So the question, how do you address such issues as sexual orientation and gender identity? Well, very simple. When the Christian devils have completed their development of newspeak as applied to science and evidence and rational thought, when they finally complete their new dictionary, terms like sexual orientation, gender identity will be replaced with dirty, goddamn, hell-bound sinners. Only they won't say goddamn. Dirty, filthy, hell-bound sinners. And abortion? Abortion rights? Abortion rights would disappear. That term, abortion rights, would disappear. Because the Christian fascists and the right-wing thugs in the Trump garbage pit will make sure that there is no such thing as abortion rights. Even as we speak, efforts are being made right now to come up with a case, and they will, that can make it all the way to the Supreme Court, where abortion will be declared unconstitutional. I'm telling you, there is no doubt in my mind. This is why 87% of these filthy goddamn evangelicals voted for Trump. Several key departments in the Trump excuse me, when's the new tile coming? Wednesday we'll have new tile in here, and maybe I won't come in here every night and start coughing in your ear. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is right now. Anyway, see, this bullshit has surfaced in repeatedly in federal agencies since this demon bastard Trump took over, okay? For example, not just HHS, but the Justice Department, Education Department, Housing and Urban Development Department. They've all changed some federal policies and the manner and means by which they collect government information about lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender Americans. If I were gay right now, or transgender, or anything other than a white male heterosexual, which is what I am, and somebody asked me a question, but if I were gay and someone quizzed me about this from the government, I would say, "Oh fuck no! I'm as straight as an arrow. I like to have sex with women and lots of babies, and I hate queers." Oh my God. Health and Human Services has removed information about lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender Americans, removed it from the website, which means those folks don't exist anymore. There is no such thing. You're not lesbian, young lady. You're not gay, young man. Because it says at the website there is no such thing. So shut the fuck up and go to church. HHS's Department of Administration for Children and Families has archived a page that outlined federal services that are available for LGBT people and their families, including how they can adopt children, how they can receive help if they are victims of sex trafficking. Gone! The information needed by people, gone, because of these fucking right-wing, nasty, white male, Christian fascists. They're purging the language. I'm very angry. I'm very upset. I'm very alarmed. When they attack the press, when they attack law enforcement, when they change the language, hold on to your ass, because this is it. What the fuck are we waiting for? Before we get up off our butts and get in the street and say, no, we're not going any further. When does that happen? When does that happen? At the CDC, according to the Washington Post, the meeting about the banned words was led by a person named Allison Kelly, a career civil servant who is a senior leader in the agency's Office of Financial Resources, according to the CDC analyst, who spoke on the condition of anonymity because the person was not authorized to speak publicly and probably would be nailed to a fucking cross if he did speak publicly, or she, who knows. Allison Kelly did not say why the words are being banned, according to this analyst. And she told the group she was merely relaying the information. I'm just a messenger. Other CD officials confirmed the existence of this list of forbidden words. That's why when a spokeswoman for the CDC came out today and blasted and tooted her goddamn horn about such a thing never happened, fake news! And all the people who reported it, and the Washington Post who reported what the people reported, it's all fake. Couldn't be true. According to the analyst who let the cat out of the bag, so to speak, it's likely that other parts of Health and Human Services are operating under the same restricted word list. And then there's this. At the CDC, several offices have responsibility for work that uses some of these words. Oh. The National Center for HIV/AIDS, viral hepatitis, sexually transmitted diseases, and tuberculosis prevention is working on ways to prevent HIV among transgender people and reduce health disparities. The CDC's work on birth defects caused by the Zika virus includes research on the developing fetus. Don't say fetus! It's one of God's preborn angels, you sinner bastards. Don't you dare say fetus. But that's what it is. Not any longer. The ban, this list of banned words, is related to the budget and supporting materials that are to be given to the CDC's partners and to Congress, according to this analyst. This rotten bastard Trump, his budget for 2019 is expected to be released in early February, and the budget blueprint is generally shaped to reflect the administration's priorities. Federal agencies are sending in their budget proposals to the Office of Management and Budget, which is standard operating procedure. And the Office of Management and Budget, OMB, has authority about what is to be included. And according to the Washington Post, neither an OBM spokesman nor CDC spokeswoman responded to requests for comment on Friday. And the longtime CDC analyst, whose job includes writing descriptions of the CDC's work for the administration's annual spending blueprint, to let them know where the money has gone. He could not, well, I don't know if it's a he, the analyst could not recall a previous time when words were banned from budget documents because they were considered controversial. What the fuck is a controversial word? There are offensive words. Nigger is one of them. Kike is one. Dago is another. Fuckhead is another. But transgender? Fetus? Those are offensive words? Diversity? Evidence-based? Those are offensive?